What's up guys, it's Tom here and welcome to a brand new Liverpool transfer news video. And English newspapers are linking Liverpool with Malen. The reports say that Jurgen Klopp is very keen on the Dortmund winger and he could be available in the January transfer window if Liverpool put enough money down. And now that we have finally put investment into Liverpool Football Club, that will open the purse strings, even though the reports tried to downplay this, the significance of this, because of course the journalists are briefed by FSG themselves. FSG don't want to increase the expectations that Liverpool are now spending big money, because that would add £10 million to any player that we want to sign. Other clubs of course are reading the news as well. The report is saying that Jurgen Klopp has long admired Malen and he could make a move. His contract is until 2026, but Dortmund want around 52 million pounds for Malen, who is a Netherlands winger. We already have Gakpo and Van Dijk and Gravenberch, three players from the Netherlands, so Malen could join the Netherlands contingent at Liverpool. And let me know guys, do you want to see Malen end up at Liverpool? Leave your comments down below, and also let me know which country are you watching from. I love reading your comments when you say you are watching from all over the world, and how do you feel ahead of the Tottenham Liverpool game. Also support my work on Patreon, it really helps me out and it sustains these videos. So Liverpool are interested in Malen. According to Sport Bild, that interest continues since 2021 or even before that. Liverpool have been scouting Malen even when he was playing at PSV Eindhoven, and Malen apparently could provide brilliant backup to Mo Salah and eventually maybe replace Salah if Salah decides to leave for Saudi Arabia. What is really interesting and surprising is Malen spent some years in England already. He was at the Arsenal Academy between 2015 and 2017, but Arsenal sold Malen to PSV in August 2017, where he impressed with 55 goals and 24 assists in just 116 games for PSV. And I think Arsenal have a long line of regrettable players who they sold, like Serge Gnabry, who is now one of the best players at Bayern Munich, even though he's not a regular starter anymore there, but still he's really good. He was at Arsenal previously. When he first arrived at Dortmund, he was written off in his first season where he scored just 5 Bundesliga goals, but he has grown into his role since. So yes, he had a tough season, but overall he scored 9 goals still in that season. And then last season he scored 10 goals, which doesn't seem a lot, but if you factor in that he got 8 assists as well, that's now sounds much better. So 18 goal contributions in 35 games, that's 1 goal contribution every 2 games. That's a really good rate for a winger. Of course we come to expect the ridiculous numbers with Mo Salah, but you can't expect everybody to put numbers like that on the pitch. This season Malen started on fire. He already has 4 goals and 2 assists in all competitions, and 2 seasons ago he got 9 goals and 6 assists in 38 games. So he was still having a really good season. That's 15 goal contributions in 38 games, then 18 goal contributions last season in 35 games. So his goals and assists to games ratio is increasing all the time, which is really promising. He started out of course at the Arsenal Youth Academy, and when he was sold to PSV he played a bit for the PSV youth team, scoring 13 goals in 22 games, but his breakthrough season came in the 2018-19 season, where he played a lot of games, 42 games, 11 goals. Next season, 17 goals in just 25 games. He had an injury hit season, but then 45 games, 27 goals for PSV Eindhoven. That is a ridiculous goal scoring season. And also he's a Netherlands international, 5 goals in 23 games. He's at the perfect age, 24 years old. He's just about to enter his prime, but it's going to be really difficult for Liverpool to sign a forward because we already have Salah, Diaz, Nunez, Gakpo and Diogo Jota. But if Liverpool are thinking long term, and I think we should be thinking long term, sooner or later you might want to sign a Salah replacement, and it's better to sign them before the player leaves. So Cody Gakpo was signed before Firmino left. Diogo Jota and Darwin Nunez and Luis Diaz, they were all signed before Sadio Mane left, especially like I think Diaz maybe was signed after Mane left, but you get my drift what I'm trying to say. But of course Dortmund are in the title race. Dortmund are fighting to get into knockout stages of the Champions League, so they wouldn't be willing to sell Malen easily in the January transfer window. But the report is saying that a 50-55 million pound offer could tempt them to part ways with Donyell Malen, who is a really good player. I watch the Bundesliga regularly, I watch the highlights and sometimes the games when I have the time, and Donyell Malen is always a handful, he's always very dangerous. He's Dortmund's main threat from the wings. They have a lot of strikers. They signed Füllkrug, the German international from Werder Bremen, they have Sebastian Aller, they have Adeyemi. But Malen is their main threat, and he's almost always starting for Dortmund and scoring goals, getting assists. And the fact that we have been scouting this guy for a long time means that Liverpool's interest will remain. So even if we don't sign him next like January, we could sign him next summer. It all depends on what happens with Mo Salah, and I think it's always more likely if we sell Salah not to sign a Mbappe type of signing, because Liverpool just don't do those type of deals. It's always more likely to sign a really good winger, also strengthen the defense. The defense is in the next in line in the Liverpool rebuild, so I think that's what Liverpool should do. Spread the funds around the squad, and if you sign a world-class centre-back plus Donyell Malen, that is more than good enough to follow up with potentially selling Salah. And Tottenham have some injury concerns because both Maddison and Son played with slight knocks in the North London derby. They were still instrumental. Son scored 2 goals from Maddison's 2 assists. Brennan Johnson will miss out the Liverpool game, but both Son and Maddison were in training. They finished the training session. The Tottenham manager Ange Postecoglou said, "We will just see how Son and Maddison pull up, as it's fair to say they were a bit sore after last week and had a bit of an interrupted week training, so just a matter of seeing how they pull up." I haven't heard exactly what Maddison said, but he's obviously new to the club and he's going on what he's feeling at the moment. Tottenham have shown a fair bit of resilience this year, and I think this will be an extremely tough game. Tottenham are one of the most dangerous attacking sides. They finally have a manager, and I really like their manager, to be honest. I don't really like Tottenham before under Mourinho and Conte. They played very defensive football. But this is the Tottenham way, the way that Ange Postecoglou is playing. All-out attacking football, full throttle, relentless. And Liverpool have to be very careful, and we have to be spot on defensively. But with Liverpool, we always have the firepower. Even if we go 1-0 down, we always have the firepower to come back. I just hope that we will score more goals than Tottenham. Postecoglou, the Tottenham manager, admitted that Kenny Dalglish was an early hero for him, and he believes watching the teams of Bill Shankly and Bob Paisley win European Cups helped shape his pathway to a coaching career. He said, "I was just consumed by football. It wasn't just playing the game. My love with all of the game, I wanted to read about it. I was fascinated by the culture at a club like Liverpool. The boot room, Shankly, Paisley, Ronnie Moran, all these guys, because I just loved reading about it. Just as I was interested in reading about Sir Alex Ferguson or Jock Stein, it seemed that even at a young age I had a real fascination with managers and people of influence within the game, because I loved the game. We all as kids have something we love and takes us away from the world we were in. And that was my world. I just loved reading about the history of football clubs and the great people within them. Certainly Liverpool at the time. There was always a unique story there about this mythical booth room where all the magic happened. For me, it was almost like reading fairy tales all the time. Obviously, that has an influence, because that's where all the seeds are planted, my love for the game. I was mad about Kenny Dalglish. Everything was was about Dalglish for me, whether that was or Celtic or Liverpool. I was a mad Kenny fan. Postecoglou said it was just about that time when I was 12, 13, you know, we look for heroes in our life. It was it for me, scoring in European Cup finals and the way he played. Like any kid, I had posters up on my wall. So Liverpool was my team, but you grow up, things change. I used to love Happy Days back then too, but I don't have pictures of Fanzone on my wall today either. Like any kid, Ange Postecoglou joins a long line of people who were Liverpool fans growing up. That's absolutely brilliant to see. But of course now he's a professional manager, so he will do everything to try and help Tottenham win this game. But Liverpool have to get something out of this game. A draw would be very, very damaging to our title hopes, because I expect Man City to wipe the floor with Wolves. And I said it all along, that new signings revitalize the squad, the fan base, the team, the starting 11 and the manager as well. And Jurgen Klopp confirmed this by saying, signing these new guys like Szoboszlai, McAllister, Endo, Ryan Gravenberch, it gives me completely new energy. It's great. This team has a completely new setup. I loved everything about the 7 years before, but obviously we all need energy sources, and looking at these faces every day to see how much they enjoy the new challenge gives me energy as well. I know it is words, but it feels like that. We don't want to compare or think how they did that or whatever. We try to give this team a chance to create their own destiny. That is what we decided. That is what we live now, and that is how it works so far. I don't know where it will lead, but it is good fun anyway. I had 7 years at Dortmund, and when I left there, it was a moment where change was needed, and we would have had to change players in different roles or the manager. Dortmund in the end did both. So I left, they changed a lot anyway. It was a moment for that. It is not the first time I was allowed to do something like that. The signs are really positive, but we have to make sure we leave ourselves space for real improvement towards stability and consistency, because this race only started recently. The Premier League is a long distance run, and you never know how you get through all of this. A good start is much better than a bad one, definitely, and we see that, we are happy about it, but we have to make sure we don't stand here in 10 days time and speaking about 3 super difficult games where we couldn't deliver. I love this team, and there are so many reasons for it. So let's just go for it. Let's try and win against Tottenham and win against Brighton. What a statement that would be by Liverpool to win both games. But I would be happy with even 4 points. These are 2 of the most difficult games that Liverpool will face this season. So it will be a real true test of Liverpool's mettle and caliber and where we are as a team. So I'm really looking forward to it. Thanks for watching, guys. Hope you enjoyed this. Have a nice day. See you later. Goodbye.